Everyone has been worried about Casemiro because when he really left the pitch as we're playing Fulham after getting that head injury, we really went ahead to implode and went ahead to concede 2 goals, and we went ahead to lose our first game this year of 2024. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really doing fine. Erik ten Hag has gone ahead and really backed Antony for obviously making what we call a comeback, and he has also gone and really said a lot about the game of football that we lost as we played against Fulham, and he has said these players need to raise up to the occasion to really perform better and better and better. Let's see close to 200 likes. Smash this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really doing fine. Let's continue to obviously take this to the levels where it deserves to be. Now, Rokan David is my name, and let's continue to see to it that all goes on as planned. So it's a Tuesday, and tomorrow we are back in action. I've already gone ahead obviously upload the match preview. You can as well go ahead and really watch it and tell me what your thoughts are about it, because the FA Cup is back and we are going to be back with a bang, and we are really waiting to see what your thoughts are onto that. Now, Carlos Casemiro, around the 58th minute, he was really taken off the field of play as a team of Man United took on the side of Fulham. I think he had a collusion with a guy. What's the name of that guy? I think the guy was called was he Wilson? And then Casemiro was really taken off. But after taking him off, we've all been worried on his return. But today, in the press conference held by the manager of Man United, that is Erik ten Hag, he has said Casemiro was bleeding so hard, so he had to come off. Against Fulham, he's available for Nottingham Forest tomorrow. So, huge boost for Casemiro, because in such games, you need the experience with you, and the experience of the run, and Casemiro helps us a lot because he can command the central defense, that is Rafael Varane, and Casemiro commands the midfield with the club of Man United. And for that, a lot has to obviously get it out of the way to see to it that Man United really gets going. And I've gone ahead to see reports that Casemiro is going to be sold out of the club of Man United, and I don't see it happening because there is experience that is needed at the club of Man United that we are not really having. And where are we going to really get it from? Obviously, we're going to really get it from Casemiro. And you've got to hate to see to it that ever since it returned, a lot of things are really going our way, and nothing can stop us from really winning the game of football. So that means the midfield is really going to be strong. And as I told you that we might see Amrabat and Casemiro playing in that double pivot tomorrow as soon as possible. So we will come back Casemiro, and what a way to see to it that this guy is back. Huge boost, and we are really excited to have him back at the club of Manchester United because of what we know that he can offer to the beautiful game of football. So him being out would have gone ahead to cost us a lot, especially playing in games like this, because this is a knockout tournament and you need players of huge experience. Ever since he returned, he hasn't gone ahead to score a goal, meaning that very soon you'll see him scoring, and it's going ahead obviously scoring goals and really put in a huge shift. Let's all admit, we are a better team with him in, and we are a bad team with him out. So I hate it when people really have narratives and trying to extend the bad performance of Man United, you know, on one player, singling him out. And I've gone ahead to see people coming out and saying Casemiro is the problem, blah 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 blah. But remember, ever since he returned, we haven't lost a game, and the only game we've gone ahead to lose is the game he really walked out because he really had a head injury. And he stays on that pitch, we have lots of chances to win that game of football because he had controlled it a lot, and it's really bad news that he really got out. But if he's back against Nottingham Forest, that is really gonna be huge, and it is really giving us a fresh of breath air because you really understand what this guy brings up on the field of play. So I'm really excited that he has not gone ahead to join the queue of injury players that we have, because I've read the story that even Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes are injured. Now you add on Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Mason Mount, Anton Martial, Rasmus Højlund, who else? we have close to 10 players injured, and it's really good that this guy is not going to have to join them, and we're really happy to see to it that he is really back. Tyrell Malacia had also going to hate to forget him. So we're really having very many players injured. But as I told you, all we need is to really get in more and more players back and really get that balance, especially onto the left back. I think that position is affecting us very badly because Tyrell Malacia is injured, Luke Shaw is injured, and even Aaron Bissaka, who would have gone to play as the right back, and Dalo covers up on the left back, is also injured. So those are the problems that we get, and I wouldn't like to see us really not having Casemiro. But having Casemiro back helps us really see him play in this game. And if I'm Ten Hag, maybe I don't start him. I start Amrabat, and then I get on Casemiro back as we prepare to play against Man City over the weekend. That is going to be the 3rd of March. And when is 3rd? I think 3rd is a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So that is it coming in through from Casemiro, and he's really back, and he's going to hit the club of Man United ahead of that fixture. And we wait and see what really happens next after that. Now, the other player that's going to hit to make news is Antony, and stories have been everywhere that this guy is going to be really thrown out with the club of Man United in the summer because Ten Hag gave him just 23 seconds towards the end of the game of Fulham. And what did we have to really look at? Ten Hag has today said about him that I know from the past he is unstoppable. No defender can stop him because he's one of the quickest in the first 10 yards. When he plays that game, I'm sure he will perform. He's resilient. He's a character. He will fight back, and I back him. He now has to wait for his chance, and once he's there, he has to pick up. So, however much I think Ten Hag is really saying all this, but it looks like he's fed up of Antony because he has gone ahead to back him several times, even when he never really desired to start games. He gave him a lot of games, but all has been in vain until when Garnacho crossed onto the right attacking side of the midfield and became a threat. And in that, I think Garnacho has 5 Premier League goals and some assists. Remember last season, Antony had 6 Premier League goals, and Garnacho, who is just 19, is really scoring goals for fun with 12 games to go, and he is really doing exactly what the manager wants him to do. So, however much is backing up to pick up, but I don't think that Antony is really going to pick up, because if he failed to obviously pick up when he had no competitor like he's having right now, how is he going to come up and really react when he's really having this vast competition from Amad Diallo? There is Foson, Omari, there is Garnacho, and all those players look like they're now ahead of him. So he needs to fight, because right now he's like 4th fiddle when it comes to the choices that Ten Hag has to make for players who are supposed to be playing as right attacking midfielders. And the only thing that would have gone ahead to take him there is that he's a left-footed player, But Amad Diallo and Foson Omari are all really left-footed players. So his days are numbered at the club of Man United, as I've always told you, and let's wait and see how that is going to really pan out. But this guy is not going to be here. And with lots of players that are really coming in through at the club of Man United, I don't think that he's going to be really given a chance to stay. And I think that will be counted as a loss, and Man United will really see him off and really get in other players. To show you that the club of Man United is really fed up of this player, they've gone ahead to make a decision onto the replacement of this guy, and that is none other than Olise. We've gone ahead to do lots of stories that Mike Olise really is a target, number 1 target for the people at Man United, especially Ineos. They want to bring him in, and I know why Olise is the target, because Omar Berrada has been at Man City, and he knows that Man City are really working hard to sign him. Even last summer they wanted to sign him to come in through as a replacement for Riyad Mahrez. He was scouted, and his stats are really top class. So Omar Berrada, I think what I hate to tell the board that a player we first bring in is going to be Mike Olise, but all that depends onto the sporting director and Erik Ten Hag on the meeting they really have in between the CEO Omar Berrada Dan Ashton when he comes in through, and Erik ten Hag to decide on which players to bring in through, because Olise's coming in through cannot keep Antony here, because Antony cannot get into the team, and these last games of the season are really important for every player who wants to really keep knocking on the door to stay at the club of Man United. But I don't see this guy really having a chance to really keep himself at the club of Man United. He is really having serious problems, and however much Ten Hag says he'll pick up, I don't see him really picking up. I don't want to come here and really lie. So after that, Ten Hag had the following to say about the game of Fulham and what really went wrong as to why we went ahead to lose, and he hinted on those that we should really improve as we get onto the quarterfinal, to really get into the 48th quarterfinal of the FA Cup. Ten Hag saw it. I was not pleased with the performance here against Fulham, with the defending, especially on the left side, how we did the pressing, because they came out, especially in the first half an hour, several times on the left side, and that can't happen, and that has to do with willingness, spirit, passion. That was in the previous weeks very good for this team, and therefore we won football games. And that's really right, that the left side really costed us a lot. When you look at all the chances that we conceded from Fulham in the first half, left side. Even in the second half, the chances we conceded that resulted into 2 goals all came from the left side, meaning that one was not doing his job. Garnacho was not tracking back, and the left back, Lindelof, was really having problems, and the midfielder that was supposed to obviously cover up onto the left side of the central defense, also of the defense, never really did well, and the left side of the central defense also never really went ahead to do their duties. So Ten Hag is pointing out those to really tell them that he really had to do things better and better and better, but you ended up really doing it the wrong and bad way. So that is it coming in from Erik ten Hag as far as Man United is concerned, meaning that we should find a solution. And I don't know how Ten Hag is going to find a solution for a player to play as the left back and for the wingers to obviously track back, because the City grounds is really a hostile stadium with a hostile environment, guys. That 30,000 capacity seater is really supportive for their team. And trust me, Espirito will like to obviously put in a shift and really beat Man United again. Remember, he has already gone ahead to beat us by 2-1 in the Premier League. But I would love to see us prosper to the next round. But as I told you in my match prediction, that all I see is a draw, and we are going to really bring Nottingham Forest to Old Trafford, and I think that's where we're going to knock them down. And if at all you accumulate more games, I don't really get worried, because we are playing in 2 tournaments only, meaning that we'll be having an extra game, I think, 2 weeks from now, because we only have to play a game per week. Because when you look at the number of games left, I think there are 12. And when you look at the number of weeks left, you take off this weekend, they remain 11. That means we are left with 11 weeks. And 11 weeks, those are 2 months. 2 months. Those are 2 months. Almost 3 months. So that means we will be playing 2 or 3 more Premier League games in the middle of the week. That is it. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But your thoughts on Casemiro back for Nottingham tie are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Antony being backed by Erik ten Hag to raise himself up and really get back on his feet? And lastly, Ten Hag pointing out on what we did badly when you're playing against Fulham that led to us losing that game of football at Old Trafford. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, right? Don't forget to subscribe, because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month, and we're left like 100 subscribers, or 150. So guys, do the needful, and let's click that magic number before this week really comes to pass. I'm out. Bye-bye, and a 5 fingers out to everyone watching in through. Rokan David remains my name. Me out for now. See you when you see me.